Let's see. What's going on, everybody? What's going on, everybody? It's Dr. Jamar Montgomery, drjamarmontgomery.com. Appreciate all of y'all for rocking with me. Let's see. For some reason, my stuff ain't showing up on YouTube. Start streaming. Let's do it like this. Refresh it. What's up? What's up, y'all? What's up? There we go. We in business now. You know, it's interesting is just got done watching the Super Bowl and saw the performance by Kendrick Lamar. And I don't know why my stuff is acting like this, at least on YouTube. There we go. So yeah, just got done watching the Kendrick Lamar performance, and this has been an interesting weekend, to say the least. You know, people were looking forward to the Kendrick Lamar performance at the Super Bowl, and I was looking forward to it as well. This is the first game that I've watched, first football game of the entire year that I've watched. You know, I'm not a big sports fan, or at least a big football fan. I like being in person watching sports. If I am going to watch sports, I like being at the actual venue. And then the venues I've gone, I'm into different sports. So I want to go to Sail GP, where they have the super fast boats that are, you know, the sailboats, the super fast and high tech sailboats. I want to go see that. That's Sail GP. I want to go to an F1 race. I've already been to a Red Bull Air race, but I want to go to one that is international, like going to Abu Dhabi. I think that'll be fun. So, you know, when the Super Bowl comes around, Super Bowl is there's a lot of attention, there's a lot of marketing, there is a lot of production that goes into it, and it's a well-run production. And the main part of Super Bowl is being able to watch the halftime shows. And so, you know, with everything that's been going on between Drake and Kendrick, you know, there's been all of this, you know, what do you say? Walk up with the swagger of the West Coast. Walk up into, what did he say? Walk up in New Orleans. Anyways, one of his lyrics. But being able to see whether or not he was going to perform Not Like Us, right? And my wife was like, "Oh well, you know," my wife was like, "Well, you know, it's rumored that Jay-Z and Usher uh, told Kendrick that maybe he shouldn't perform it." And apparently there was some you know, back and forth, because even he teased it in his performance, right? There was some back and forth between somebody. And the fact that he performed it was like, all right, cool, he went there. But the fact that he said, you know, it wasn't just Drake that was named, it was Baca, it was Party Next Door, it was Chubbs, right? All these different people that are also part of Drake's crew that also got named. So it's one thing for it to be, you know, it's a song, but now on probably one of the most watched sporting events in the world outside of soccer, or what the world calls football, he's on this performance stage at the halftime show calling Drake a pedophile. That's gotta be a new record. That's gotta be a new record for halftime shows. Albizi, what's going on, brother? Pleasure. I thank you for showing up from Africa. So, you know, hearing that, right? And it was an entertaining show, and I was thinking, I was like, you know what? No wonder Ye was going after Kendrick, and he's talking about, oh, you know, this, that, and the third, and Kendrick, you know, they chose Kendrick and blah 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 for me. Ye. right? Or Kanye. The visuals have a deeper meaning and are more part of a storytelling versus with Kanye, you're just getting a glimpse into his brain, into what he's thinking and what he's feeling, but you don't necessarily know what the heck is going on. Whereas with Kendrick, his visuals, it is a very clear message, and he's thought about it on so many different layers. Like just him showing up at the Grammys in an all jean thing, in an all jean outfit. That's known as a Canadian tuxedo, right? So even that experience right then and there, like just there's levels with Kendrick, and it makes sense. And with Ye, there's levels too, but some of those levels don't necessarily make sense. And Ye's tweets this weekend has just been like, bruh, you just so full of it. Right? And this is coming from somebody who's a fan of his music, fan of his genius, right? Or I should say admirer, or appreciate. I appreciate his music. That's probably a better term. I appreciate his music and I appreciate his genius. And then other times it's like, bruh, you wildin'. And the thing about hip hop and black culture is it allows you to remain a kid way past when you should be. What do I mean? Those kinds of tweets and the things that he was doing over this past weekend uh is something that you expect of somebody that's under 30. Under 30, not somebody that is 3 years from 50. Kanye is 46, 47 years old. Those aren't the kind of things that you expect from somebody who is supposed to be cultured, supposed to be intelligent. And then the simple fact of, right, it's like, dude, you just went and posted porn on Twitter. And it's not, and the thing is, it's easy to get porn on Twitter. It's easy to get porn on Twitter, but you never expect for it to be shown, right, by somebody as influential and with as great reach as Ye. 30 million some odd followers, and dude, you're posting porn, dude. Like there's just certain things that was like, dude, it doesn't make any sense, right? It doesn't make any sense. Um, Certain kind of language isn't for children, and definitely those kinds of things aren't for children. And there's children on Twitter, right? And as influential as you as Jay is, it's like, dude, what the? Didn't you have a battle with porn and with all of that? And it's just unfortunate to see him fall back into the things that destroy men and destroy societies. It's just like just it's like I said, it's somebody that can appreciate his music, appreciate his genius, right? There's nothing to appreciate about what he's doing right now. It's a 47-year-old man, and at what point in time does does that stuff get old? And it's gotten old. It's gotten old. It'd be one thing if he had a point to prove, but now he's just trolling. And so, what do you do with something like that? Like, you just going about your business. You just going about your business. I was on a live last night talking about my experience with him and some of the things that gave some insight to my time with them. Like I said, it's just madness, madness, and I'm gonna limit the amount of time that I speak on it. But what did I say? Kendrick, yay, distractions. I'm not worried about what other millionaires are doing, especially millionaires who aren't in my line of work, who aren't in my profession, who aren't in my profession. But it's all good. Thank you, Dorothy, for the likes. Thank you, Problematic Boo, for the likes. Thank you for the follow. I'm gonna invite a few people on real quick, see what y'all think. I love hearing from my followers and from my audience. Why? Because I have the smartest, most respectful, most insightful audience of all TikTok. And you know what I mean? Like, this is a place for people to give their thoughts, and the such. What's up,
Hey, Dr. Jamar.
Quivette?
Sharina.
How do I say your name? Quivette or Quivette?
Sharina Quebec Pearson. Hey, how are you?
I'm
I'm
doing
just
quite well. I could barely hear you.
okay.
Perfect. I can hear you much better now.
Okay. Just coming on, so I have no idea what you're talking about, but I do follow you, but I don't know what you're talking about right now.
Did you watch the halftime show?
Yes, I did.
What'd you think?
I thought it was self. I think Kendrick Lamar has a way of expressing himself without saying too much, but those who get it.
So do you consider yourselves one of the people who get it?
I definitely get it.
Okay,
Yeah.
so what did you get from it?
Well, I got that he was expressing things that were going on in the government system, things that were going on with minorities. I'll say it like that. Want to be careful with what I say because it's just a very political time right now. But I think that he was expressive in, just the things that races have been going through for decades, centuries. And he says it without, you know, being obvious.
Being obvious.
I would say so.
Okay. Okay. Um I guess and once again, thank you for providing your perspective. What caught me the most. What caught me the most was the American flag. How he put the American flag together. I think that was probably the best part.
Yeah,
Of
that was super creative.
It was. It was.
Yeah,
What did
he's a
you?
very creative artist.
What I guess maybe I'm a little bit, maybe I didn't get all that he was trying to give. So would you mind sharing with me or my audience about what was some of the gems that you got from it that you feel people should have gotten from it?
Was representing that all races are part of America. And of course, the red, white, and blue is our, the American flag. And the fact that there was someone of color that was representing that, and we are a part of American culture. We've been pained in American history as a minority group, as African Americans. I think that he represented that in a manner in which to let the world know, anybody who was watching the NFL halftime, that we are engraved in a part of American history as well. And we're going to be heard, we're going to be seen, period.
Interesting. Interesting. Um yeah, I didn't get that much from it. I didn't get that much from it.
What
Um
did you get?
what did I get? I got entertainment. I
Okay.
got I got I got I got entertainment. Now the symbolism of the flags, and this is coming from somebody that listens to. You know what? I didn't want to look at his performance through a very critical lens.
Mm.
I didn't want to look. I didn't want to look at his performance through a critical lens. I deal enough with global politics, and things of the sort, than um, wanting to spend my entertainment time parsing out a political message.
Mm.
Um, Go ahead, please.
I also believe that Kendrick Lamar has a very creative way of expressing events that happen with African Americans, that happen with people who are downtrodden, whether it be African Americans, whether it be another race, another minority race. He has a very creative way of expressing that out. I, as a Christian, don't agree with, any curse words and stuff that, he, may rap. That's not what I agree with, but I do understand that is his way of expressing himself. In the history that I've known, some of the songs that he's put out, he's always spoke on things that were going on in the government system, if I may say so, or things that were going on in America, and or things that were going on with minority races, and he's expressed that in a way that is something that is relatable, and something that those who get it get it.
I understand that. I understand that. You use a particular term, minority. Minority. Do you see yourself as a minority? As a minority?
Yes, I do.
In what way?
Well, I definitely am not in the one percenter yet. Um, so I believe that it may be considered a minority at this point because of the economic system here in America.
Well, wouldn't that make you a part of the majority if you're not part of the 1%?
Exactly.
Okay.
The minority is those who are struggling, those who financially are struggling. And it's not just financially; it's also those who are dealing with maybe you're trying to get business loans, or maybe you're trying to um, you know do things to move yourself along and have a quality of life, and there are things that are holding you back from doing that, because there's things, opportunities available for others. That is considered the minority.
Well, I mean, you just define minority in like like four different contexts, and I've always wondered. Um, I've always been after listening to Dr. Claude Anderson, I have been very careful of utilizing the or at least referring to myself as a minority after listening to Dr. Claude Anderson. I'm sure you're familiar with his work.
I am not. You'll have to fill me in.
Dr. Dr. Claude Anderson, I believe, was appointed to run the Florida Department of Education some years ago. He's one of the foremost Black scholars. He wrote a book called Powernomics. Are you familiar with that?
No, I'm not. So
And
sorry.
no problem, no problem. Uh, Powernomics was a book that helped people understand. Come on, girl. That pardon me, my doggy is fussing with me right now. uh, he said these first world problems are hilarious. Looking at other impoverished nations, absolutely. He talks about sit down. He talks about how the black folks will be a permanent underclass, and by 2050, and then also the anytime that you refer to yourself as minority, you're referring to somebody being powerless, and that we as black folks should never refer to ourselves as minority, especially when we're part of a global majority. Um, Minority is one of the ways in which we disenfranchise ourselves and don't and limit the resources that are available to us. And so he strongly cautions against us ever referring to ourselves as minorities. There is a Breakfast Club interview that he did, and was very enlightening for me. And I'm sure that you would find it enlightening as well. It really helped reframe and reshape my thinking about referring to myself as a minority. My dad had told me about the book Powernomics when I was young, like 8, 9, 10 years old. We had it at the house. But now being an adult and somebody that's been involved in social activism and business activism, I now understand exactly what he's saying. Mike DeWine said underclass by 2015. You didn't just say 2050 by 2050, but black folks ignored him. I did say 2050. I did say 2050. That those are some other estimates, but you're absolutely right. Dr. Claude Anderson did say 2015. Thank you for that, Mike the One. Um, but yeah.
And let me just kind of like clarify some things as well. Um, there is a terminology that is used, called minority. However, when it comes to my relationship with Christ, when it comes to my relationship with God, nothing is off limits for me. So I do look at that aspect as well. But when it comes to um, certain races of people being able to move forward and be able to have the life and live it more abundantly, sometimes there's such a massive and major push to get there, and you have to work 10 times harder as others to be able to get to where you're trying to go. So, that it has been classified as minority.
Mm, mm. So, what is classified as minority? Somebody that is part of the faith, or somebody that?
Someone,
Go ahead.
someone who is moving forward and maybe they want to get out of the rat race of being on a 9 to 5, and they want to own their own business. And so they're pursuing their small business. Maybe they have, I'm just going to use, maybe they want to open an art shop, just an example I want to use. Maybe they want to open an art shop and they want to sell their artwork. And because they are of a certain race, they have to, and they don't have the funds to be able to obtain the goal of maybe having their art pieces in specific types of galleries, or in specific people's hands, and sell it at the cost that they want to sell it at. So they have to take out a business loan, and they have to have it marketed in a certain way, and being able to obtain the funds to do that, et cetera, et cetera. If you're not already educated in that area and you haven't gotten the background training, the background upbringing for that, then it seems like it is harder to get there, because you have to scramble. There could be programs that are out there, but then you have to go through 50 million steps to get to the funding, et cetera, et cetera. So it's a lot of steps, when sometimes in other races, they can just put in a word and just say, go ahead and give such and such, that loan, because he's friends with the bank owner. You understand?
I do.
I'm a small business owner.
What is your small business?
I'm an entrepreneur. I guess you could. I own a home bakery business, and it's called Grandma's Friendship Cakes and Delights.
Grandma's Friendship Cakes and Delights. All right. And so, what does Grandma's Cakes and Delights? What's your specialty?
It was founded. It was founded on a recipe that my grandmother passed down to me and gave me permission to use and share with the world. The recipe has a flavor that tastes like Cinnamon Toast Crunch. That's what the customers have expressed, that's what it feels like or that's what it tastes like to them. So the cake tastes like Cinnamon Toast Crunch. And then I had a customer in the very beginning of the business state to me, if I was asking for people's opinions. So I was like, okay, try my cake. And they were like, wow. I said, give me your feedback. And so one of the customers said, if you added cream cheese filling in the middle, this would be the bomb. And I did it. And that was like my number one seller. And so it's that flavor. It's the cream cheese filling version of it. And then I also make strawberry cake, lemon cake, all natural ingredients with a homemade taste like grandma used to make, and all kinds of flavors. And I've got fall flavors, um, holiday flavors, and strawberry, the lemon, chocolate, and even lavender as well. So,
That
and
sounds
then
that sounds
yeah.
delicious. That sounds delicious. Did you it seems like you may have had some issues and some challenges with getting funding. Would I be correct in that?
I am definitely that example, and that is me. And that the example that I gave is literally me. I didn't have a financial background coming up, and mom and dad weren't business owners.
Mm.
I'm the first business owner on my mom and my dad's side. All my parents were 9 to 5 workers. And I ventured off in 2021 and left BART, which is a transportation company
Oh, you're in the
in the
Bay
Bay
Area.
Area. Yes, in the
Okay.
Bay Area. I left BART in 2021 after being there for 15 years. Made it up to become a supervisor in the system service department there, and I just was not fulfilled. And so climbing up that ladder was absolutely no joke. And that can also be categorized as kind of like a minority as well, because you're not going to see a lot of certain people once you get higher in corporate companies. Um, it's starting to pan out more, but when I was there, it wasn't a lot, and so that was even just a triumph itself. And but I wanted more, and the Lord was pushing me to more. And I've always had a business mind. Went to college and majored in business admin, so I knew I had it in me to be a business owner and an entrepreneur. And so left in 2021 and tried all kind of businesses, and then finally the Lord just kept putting on me that you have the grandma's friendship cakes and delights has gotten started. The challenge has definitely been getting that brick and mortar started,
Mm.
because the financial background was not is something I'm still working on, and getting the credit straight. So it's just a lot of um, steps to get to what you what the goal is, what the
Does your
ultimate goal is. And so
does your family buy your cakes for like family events and things like that?
no,
Yeah.
and I'm literally like a branch out in the family.
Yeah.
Everybody kind of like does their own thing. And so I'm a branch out in the family. I don't get the support from them. My dad will support me, but it's to a certain extent. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah, I do.
And so my family is my TikTok family. My family is Facebook. My family is YouTube. My family is the people who buy it from me when I do my pop up shops.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well,
Yeah.
Quivette, any final thoughts that you want to leave my audience with?
I would say be aware, be alert. Always push for your goals. Do not let anything stop you, because when you take one step, God opens the door for the next. It may be a challenge to get there, but it's well worth pushing so that you can see that final result.
Amen. 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 Well, thank you.
Thank you for having me on, Doctor.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank
Thank
you.
you. Alrighty.
All right. Take care. Let's
Alrighty.
see.
Bye
Let's see
bye.
if I can get this all squared away.
I don't know if you have to get me off.
No, you can do it, but I'm gonna do it for you real quick.
How do I do it? I
I
have
got you.
no idea.
I got you.
Okay.
Bam. Disconnect. Perfect. Well, shoot. What's going on, everybody? You guys heard it. You guys heard it. So the challenges of being a business owner is not for the faint of heart. Is not for the faint of heart. And I mean, it's challenging. It's challenging. You'll find yourself where you would think that your family's going to be your biggest supporter, and they're not. And you'll watch your family go and support other people, but not support you, right? Or they'll expect your support, but when it comes to your endeavors, they're not there. Dr. CDW, what's happening? You're more than welcome to come online if you would like. I've been making sure to add all my folks to add my folks. If you're interested in coming online, just send me a request and I'll bring you up. But yeah, with starting your business, and it's a challenge because a lot of people they're not prepared for the rejection that you feel from your family. And I know when I came out of law school and came out of my MBA program, I went to my family about doing property management and doing some property investment, and my family just kind of looked at me, and I was like, dude, for everything that we're trying to do with this particular property, right? And mind you, cold part about it is I negotiated the deal on one of the properties as a law student. Negotiated the deal. I didn't really. I may have seen out of $1 million deal. I may have seen about 20,000, maybe, maybe that. Um, I was trying to get our properties developed, and I was like, look, put me on salary. Um, whatever you pay me is going to be one half to one third of what you would have to pay somebody else. So let me do it. I get to live there. You know what I'm saying? I get to have our property developed, and did not see the vision. Did not see the vision. And what that does is it will mess with your psyche because the people that you feel, right, are supposed to see your talents, are supposed to see what you have to offer, right, will just kind of just look at you, and it's demotivating. I remember I was working on my mom's EEOC case, and I had put in work. I was in law school. I just 2014, 2014, I was in law school. Maybe even 2013, but 2013, 2014, I had put in hella work on my mom's case, on her EEOC case. She didn't have a lawyer. She just had me, a law student. And my mom, she took the paperwork to a lawyer. She took she took the paperwork to a lawyer, and the lawyer looked at her and said, "Who wrote this?" And you're not supposed to be doing this kind of stuff as a law student, but whatever. Um, my mom pointed at me, and the guy looked at me and was like, "You want a job?" And that was the first time I saw my mom get excited about the paperwork I did. But it's like, dude, the simple fact that we've gotten it to this point where now you have to have a lawyer take it over because we were getting ready to go to trial, and I could only do paperwork, right? I couldn't show up and represent my mom. It looks like my mom's doing it, but I'm the one, right? When my mom got excited, it's like, dude, I've been telling you about hiring me. You could have paid me. Heartbreaking. Heartbreaking. And I had a conversation with my mom about, like, think about what that does to the confidence, to my confidence of, like, I'm already having issues with the bar, and here it is you're seeing my skills, you don't even appreciate it until somebody else is telling you the work that I'm doing is great. And that you go through an experience as an entrepreneur, that you better have confidence in yourself, because otherwise your family and those around you, those that you think are your biggest support group, that they will let you down. Corvette said, "Wow, yeah, that's what I went through. That's what I went through, and it was, whew, like I had to go through therapy just to, but I was struggling, and it's like, hey,